I think your confidence as a married woman allows for our sisterhood more.
I think so.
Yeah. You see, society also made us believe we are the ones chosen. We don't choose.
Because you know what, we see you guys with your fancy cars and your solo holidays and doing you. And I'm like, me, I can't do me. Because I have a baby, I have a house to run.
He told me, Rachel, you've done a good job.
I cry. The other day I put up a post on Facebook talking about the married woman and the single woman and how we both meet at this well. And I really advocated for honest conversations between the married woman and the single woman. Now, we have been known to fight, you know. The married woman has been known to attack the single woman and say, you want my husband. And the single woman has been known to attack the married woman and say, you keep thinking I want your husband. You are looking down on me because I'm not Mrs. So-and-so or I'm not Mama so-and-so. So I think it's about time we have the conversation. And I invited my friend here, life coach Rachel. My name is Dr. Kendi Ashitiva. And on this conversation, she'll be speaking on behalf of the single woman, and I'll be speaking on behalf of the married woman. And let's just see where we meet. Or do we really meet? Are you going to have a cat fight?
I think we meet at some point.
Yeah?
If we're willing to have real conversations.
I think so.
Yeah.
And you know, I put up that post, Rachel, because I realized we're not being honest with each other. A lot of my, being a therapist, a lot of my clients are women. And I'm telling you, Rachel, I've listened to the hearts of women for many years, over a decade.
Wow.
And the married woman and the single woman are both complaining. And I figured, you know what, let's tell each other the truth, that this side is not as rosy as you think. And I don't know how being single has been for you. I mean, it's been many years. What's your experience of being a single woman, a single mature woman? What's that like?
Whoa, I love that. I think my seasons of being single morph.
Yeah.
When you're younger, you're looking for the next marriage, the next guy who's going to marry me. But as you get mature, your search is shifted. Your longings change. You grow and you get to know what to even expect in a man. I think that's the conversation I'd have about a mature single woman. Yeah.
That's a nice and fancy part. What's the ugly part of being
the ugly part. The ugly
I wasn't ready.
No, the ugly part is the fantasy.
Yes, and I want you to tell us the ugly part because I think we have romanticized, married women have romanticized marriage and made it look so nice and shiny and you know, and I'm not here on a bashing affair at all. We have made you guys think you're missing out. And we are superior to you. We've really romanticized it. And I think also single women have romanticized your lives. Because you know what? We see you guys with your fancy cars and your solo holidays and doing you. And I'm like, me, I can't do me. Because I have a baby, I have a house to run. So, you know, I'm willing to tell you the ugly sides of marriage if you're willing to tell me the ugly sides of singlehood. What are the ugly sides?
So truth is, we are called for connection. God created us for connection. So there's a genuine longing for partnership. And that's not just a desire we have, it's God-given. And I think genuinely, as we get older, we try to tell ourselves, we're okay, we are fine. But there's that gap, which is God-given. How you deal with it is different.
Do you feel it? Do you feel the gap?
Yes, and I acknowledge it. I acknowledge it. It would be foolish to not acknowledge it. Because if you don't, that's how you find yourself in trouble. Just because I acknowledge it, it doesn't mean I'm hoping on the next bus. Meaning the next man, yes. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna hope on the next man. I acknowledge it. However, I sift it through my maturity to know not every man is my man. So I think that's the conversation now for the mature woman. As you're younger, you don't know. You're always hoping it's this one. Oh my God, it's this one. Oh, this one is cute, it's this one. But as you get older, you realize it's not about how cute he is. It's not about the money. There's so much more.
But imagine, I remember that place. I got married at 25. I was a baby. I wasn't even single for long. I think I was single for a minute. But that minute, I remember wanting a husband so badly. I mean, I was young. I had a face full of pimples. That was called a jambela na nyuma ni wapi. But I remember just thinking, oh, is he the one? Oh, is he the one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is he the one? I don't know if being a Christian in church made it worse, but I remember just thinking, why doesn't nobody like me? Why not like? Nobody wants me. I felt it at 25, you know. And so when I met this guy and he said, will you marry me? I was like, finally, you know, because with everyone else getting married and me not getting married, I felt like it's 10 green bottles standing on the wall, and I'm the one that never gets picked, you know. So that's what I felt at 25. So I remember that place. Does it get worse as you grow older? That is it him? Is it him? Is it him? And when are the toughest seasons for a single mature woman? When do you feel, okay, this thing needs to end? This is hard.
I think truth is it gets worse.
Okay.
It gets worse because it's not just your own needs that now come in play. The society. Everyone is looking, wondering, what's wrong with you? By then there's really a conversation of, you know, when you go for occasions, like, what's wrong with her?
Yeah.
Kinda. And it's not acknowledging the fact that I am not in a rush because it's something I'm looking for. It is, there must be something wrong with you. You see, society also made us believe we are the ones chosen. We don't choose.
Oh, that's so good. Society made women believe that they don't have a choice. Their work is to wait to be chosen. So if you're not being chosen, you're doing something
There's something wrong with you. Not acknowledging the fact that by the time you're getting to my age, you know what you want. It's clear that this is not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. And that changes the conversation completely. I'm not on a wall thinking, you know, who's gonna
bottles
on
the wall.
Who's gonna pick me?
Yeah.
That's different. That's different.
So night has moved from who will pick me to what?
To I know what I want.
And you're not it.
And you're not it. And it's okay.
Is it safe to say that, honestly, society doesn't know what to do with a single mature woman?
100%.
I think society,
100%.
church, community, the workplace doesn't know what to do with a single mature woman. So we unconsciously bash her, we judge her, and
we don't even know where she fits.
What does
Because
that mean?
you think about it.
Yeah.
Once you're growing from the time you're a little child, what is it that you know about life? You grow old, get married, have a job, have children.
Yes.
There was no space for the single woman.
Yes.
Who are you? So society has no classification for single. So you're in church, who are you? You're in a society, you're in a family setup, who are you? Because you are growing up. And that's why even our constitution, for a very long time, we didn't give land to women. Why? See, you're getting married.
You're someone else's.
Yes. Next, exactly. So how now I only have daughters as a father, and these daughters are not married. So what you see? So the African society has no context for the single woman. It's like we are pathfinding our
As you
own
go.
path. Exactly.
If you're not a Mrs. or a Mama Nani, I think it can be really hard because you're right. And we see the mind, what it doesn't know will consider it a threat. Okay? That's now I'm being a psychologist. Whatever the mind doesn't know, it will consider a threat. So because me, married woman, I don't know this. What is this? Why is she single? Why does she look so good? Why is she around my husband? Why is she coming to my house? Why is she driving a nice car? She's a threat.
Why is she being a leader?
Why is
she taking spaces in leadership?
Exactly.
Who does she think
Who is she sleeping with?
Yeah, thank you. So if you're here and you're single, you must be sleeping with someone to get to the position that you are in.
Yes. And while there is, there are women that do that to survive and, they're on survival mode. Yeah. There are women that honestly hard work has opened those doors. Diligence has opened those doors. But what we do not know, we'll consider a risk, And I must honestly apologize to all single women from us married women because we have made single women feel so inferior. Sometimes I don't think it's the words we say, it's even our attitude, our gesture. It's okay.
Yes.
I will apologize on that behalf. What do we do that makes you guys feel bad?
I think it's genuinely when, and I get it. It's genuinely when anytime I'm working with your husband, you'll feel they need to feel there are certain boundaries that need to be there. Truthfully, there needs to be. But you wouldn't be as concerned if I was married.
It's true.
If today I say I'm having a business meeting dinner today with your husband, it's different from another married woman.
It's true.
Having dinner.
It's true.
And it's the thought that you're single, you must be desperate for a man. And so my husband is within your vicinity. You get? And it's so distorted.
Oh, no.
Imagine.
So true.
And that energy is so real.
And I think it's the energy you guys pick up.
We pick it very fast.
Yeah.
We pick it so fast because, boo, I don't want you, boo. I don't want him. But I can work with him. And really will work. So the fact that you're projecting your own insecurities on me even taints your image. I think your confidence as a married woman allows for our sisterhood more.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's something that the married woman needs to work on in herself. That he's not my husband in my pocket. And he doesn't fully define who I am. Hey, I think the day I settled in my heart that this marriage doesn't define me, I get my first identity from the Lord. The deliverance. It was a full deliverance service.
Wow.
You know? And like I've told you, for me, the greatest thing is when I listened to a sermon and I needed it so bad. I didn't even know I needed it. And this preacher says that the Bible says in Genesis that male and female, he made them. And he blessed them. I went back to wait. He blessed them. He didn't bless him.
Whoa.
He blessed them. So the very blessing on my husband rests upon me. Wait, I am this powerful. I am this awesome, you know? Because the culture has taught us, dim your light for him, help him. And those are great. I'm happy to be a helper. I'm happy to do it unto the Lord. It gives me joy to serve my husband as unto the Lord, but not at the expense of my own greatness. Because I too will be asked by the Lord, I gave you a calling, what did you do with it? You know? So I think married women must remember your husband and your children and your family are part of your assignment. They're not all of it.
Wow.
They're not all of it.
Yeah.
Don't give them everything. You have a calling on your life and an assignment. And I've seen too many married women go to the grave sad, miserable, because they operated at their husband's level. What he accepted is what they accepted. They refused to rise above what was happening at home. I've seen gifted women who died early. I've seen women that have changed the world, killed by marriage. So I think what I'd want married single women to know is that even while you're on this side, you still have to work on yourself. You still have to grow. This is not an excuse for laziness, carelessness. You have not arrived because you're married. And that we too, as married women, are pushing, grinding, growing, reading, learning. And so don't look at this side and think, oh, she has it made. It's not true. It's not true.
And even if I would add, is don't wait until you get married is when you'll work on you. Or you'll do the great things.
Yeah.
That you're waiting for a cheerleader. Yes. Can we even talk about
that? I'm not ready.
We're waiting for a cheerleader.
Yes.
You are your own cheerleader.
Yes.
And you can start building something even before you get married.
Absolutely.
I think that's the fantasy or the bubble I'd want to burst for us as single women. That I'm waiting the day I get married is when I start my purpose. And let me tell you, I honestly did have that problem in the sense in my ministry. So for me, I felt, yes, I could operate in my career, but thinking, should I, even minister somewhere? You're Mrs. Who again? Who are you again?
Yeah.
What do you know about life? Kind of. And as much as that's a cultural conversation, I had internalized it. And so there are nuggets to life that I have that still life I can offer, whether I'm married or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's really big. I'd want single ladies to know.
And I love it. Let's go back to the ugly sides. The ugly sides of the season you're in. And the ugly sides, I remember one single woman telling me, I hated Thanksgiving, I hated Christmas, I hated anywhere where I would go and feel single. I'd feel alone. This particular person told me, I was single for so long. It was horrible. I'm married. It's horrible. And she triggered this conversation for me. Because I'm like, by the way, is there a lie you're unconsciously selling? Because she thought, phew, like escape from some people. I have escaped singlehood. Phew, I'm now married. It is finished. And she's like, oh my God, I'm married and I'm still miserable. How does this thing work? So she said her toughest seasons were Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, anywhere where people gather as family. What are the ugliest seasons, the toughest seasons for you? Are there times you feel the loneliness and the aloneness a lot more than others? Because we're talking to an audience that may actually be struggling and we don't want to look like we've got it all made.
My greatest pain point was I as a parent. So
being
raising
a
a child alone, let me tell you, I didn't know it was hard until recently. The father of my child and I really parted a long time ago, and we've not been very close. I mean, he's not present. I don't want to color it. But recently, we had a conversation. And let me tell you, he told me, Rachel, you've done a good job. Oh, I cried. I didn't even know him validating the journey that I have had. Raising a son alone has been so hard, but you don't even have time to sit down and think how hard it is. Because I have to pick up after myself, I have to pay the bills, I have to be mommy and daddy.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. And I didn't know how hard it was until he validated me.
So he saw your struggle.
Let me tell you, I don't even know whether he saw it. And I don't care whether he saw it, but I needed it. And I asked myself, how many women like me are raising children alone and no one has ever even told them, Mama, you're doing a good job. Raising a child alone is hard. And I think the hardest part of being single is not even having the time to pause and reflect how hard it is.
For you as a single mom.
As a single mother, or even being a single parent. Or not single parent, being single. There are moments you need partnership. Think about it.
Absolutely.
We've done so many projects together.
Yeah.
And you'll come and tell me, my husband and I were talking about this, and this is what he told me. So the power of partnership comes up in that way. That even in my own pursuits and my business, I'm sure a spouse would bring in a different input. God created for us to, even the Bible says, one shall cost 1,000 to flee, and two in tens of thousands. So we can never fully deny the place of partnership. So do I feel that gap? Yes. As I mature, as I get older, it's there. So the hardest part has been not even having time to reflect and say, you know what? I acknowledge. I acknowledge. We beat ourselves. No, I'm fine. I'm doing well. No, you're not.
That thing is hard.
It's okay to acknowledge. It doesn't mean I have to do something about it. It doesn't mean I'm even looking for a spouse now. It doesn't mean he has to come now. But acknowledging, you know what? Right now I'm hungry. I need something to eat. It's a human need. It's a human genuine need. I need partnership. I need help in parenting. It's real.
We need help in doing life.
Absolutely.
We need help in doing life.
Yes.
So let's balance this as we bring this home. So what we are saying, even according to scripture, because we cannot live on bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. You're a life coach. I'm a therapist. We're in the helping business. We're in the people business. We deal with relationships all the time. Relationship with self, relationship with others.
Yes.
And you're talking about when you're single, there's a relationship you must have with yourself that promotes healing, promotes growth, promotes progress. The married woman, by the way, is not very far from that. Because despite her being in relationship with her husband and possibly children, there's one she has with herself that is so powerful. And that's one that I don't think I was taught as a married woman, to remain in relationship with self. I spent my entire youthful marriage, when I was younger especially, being in relationship with my husband, his people, his life, his everything. Because you know we are givers, we're natural.
Yes.
I gave children, I gave birth, I breastfed, I give, and there's no one giving me. And I didn't even know that I can give me. And when I read the Proverbs 31, this married woman has a relationship with herself. But there you can see, they mentioned her husband once.
Oh, wow.
They mentioned her children once. Everything else is what she is doing. And I sat and I said, wait, no one told me I am enough. No one told me I bring value. I think my charge to the married woman would be, don't get lost in the marriage. In giving everything, don't lose your relationship with yourself. Don't lose your relationship with God. The reason why we attack single women is because we think you're taking everything I have, everything I have built. It is not everything. It is something, it's important, but it is not everything, you know. And so we attack you guys because they're like, oh, you're coming to take my most prized possession. I am persuaded we are supposed to honor marriage and hold it in high esteem.
Absolutely.
I agree with God.
Yes.
I agree with God that two are better than one. For
Yes.
sure, I have come this far
Yes.
because I'm in partnership. For sure, two are better than one. Because when one falls, the other will pick them up. And I have fallen and he has picked me up. So there are many joys of being in partnership. But I think also to balance it out, this partnership cannot thrive outside of a God that helps the partnership. You know, we must never turn our husbands or our wives and give them God status.
Yes, yes.
They are not God.
Yes.
So the married woman must know this is a mortal man.
Yeah.
And imagine I am called to help him. Sasa unapigania mtu unasaidia. You know. But they're amazing because they cover us. And they bring a lot.
Absolutely.
But my fear is how we have idolized this thing and made you guys think that you're useless and inferior. Yet we actually just have an extra job, you know. We have made you guys inferior, and I truly apologize for that. We have made you guys think that you're a risk, and society has not made room for the single woman, you know, or the single man. And even if we don't make a room, please make a room yourself. Force us to see you.
Correction,
and to respect you.
The single man has no problem. Because
Really?
the man, he doesn't have a bigger problem like the single woman. But I love the fact that you mentioned something. I think even the conversation that we have today is really seeing where we marry.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you brought the conversation of having a relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
The blessing that I can say, being single as you mature, that has given me is learning and growing that relationship with myself.
Oh.
Let me tell you, it gives you room to heal, to reflect, you know, to spend a lot of time alone over the weekends when you're having, you know, family dinners and all that. We spend a lot of time reflecting. I spend a lot of time reading, reflecting. So it has really helped me with my relationship with myself. And that's the blessing of singlehood. It gives you room, a lot of room to grow and learn. So, and I think that's where we also meet. Because even as you're married, you also realize the fantasy of the marriage erodes. And you go back to yourself.
The fantasy of the marriage meeting all your needs.
Erodes.
And you want to wake up and say, Snow White kwenda kabisa, Cinderella kwenda kabisa, Rapunzel, you're all a bunch of liars.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
All those stories.
That I watched them when I couldn't wipe my own nose. We were conditioned that the man is coming to rescue us from ourselves. You know, I was conditioned that I am in trouble and this man is coming to rescue me. Not true.
In fact,
no one is rescuing me from me.
You're coming to add value into someone else's life.
Yes.
And the more you know yourself, the more you add value. And you see what you're coming to bring into a man's life.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you know, as we wrap up, I'll tell you, you know, we've already talked about this, but I'll share with the audience that a few weeks ago I told my husband that, listen, and you know, I am in a highly functional marriage. He's a great guy. I'm so grateful to God. We're not perfect, but we have a great working relationship. And I told him, let me tell you, my dear, if you're to lose me, you need 3 women to replace me. The guy was shocked first. He's like, can you end up here? But he said, you know what? I'll need more than 3 women to replace you. And later on, I sat and I'm like, where is that statement coming from? Because is it pride? It wasn't pride. It wasn't conceitedness. It was, I know who I am. And I was never taught that confidence is a good thing. That knowing my value in the Lord is such a good thing. And now I can stand and say, listen, I am an amazing wife. I am an amazing mother. I am an amazing friend. And if you lose me, you'll need 3 women to replace me. Just be knowing.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not saying it out of, I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying I have come into the knowledge of God's grace on my life. And like the Proverbs 31 woman, I will become. And I'm not a threat to the marriage. I'm not a threat to the children. The Bible says that he gave some 5 talents, some 2, some 1. I am saying I have 5. And I'm grateful for 5 because the more I acknowledge, the more I will give an account for.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I'm saying these things that I have, I will serve humanity with, because one day I'll stand before God and God will ask me, Kendi, I gave you this husband. What did you do with him? I must be able to say, Lord, I helped him build you an ark like Noah. Lord, I helped him. I helped him deliver the Israelites like Moses. I helped because I must give an account. The single woman also must give an account.
Absolutely.
Because God will tell her, I gave you these years.
Yes.
I gave you time. I gave you relationships.
Yes.
Because I think the single woman will obsess about the one relationship she doesn't have and forget the many more
Yes.
that God has given her. What do you want to say about that as we finish?
Oh, it's so real. I think when you talk about understanding your value, not only does it help you know what you bring to the table, but it also builds confidence in yourself.
Yes.
It's like a property that, when you're told this property is sitting on this land or this land, it's not to demean any woman or to disrespect any woman. What I'm saying is, as a woman, the more you work on yourself, the more you value yourself, the more you know the places you position yourself, whether you're married or you're single. It dictates how you carry yourself. It dictates how you even dress. It dictates how you address others. One of my policies as a life coach that I tell all my clients is that I uphold everyone. I hold everyone in high esteem. Why? It's a mirror of how I see myself. So it has become my daily routine to acknowledge the journey that I am on. And the investment I'm making on myself.
Absolutely. And once a single woman works on herself, actually not even single, once every human being works on themselves, you'll draw so many people your way. You'll be choosing not you. No one ignores value.
Absolutely.
No one ignores value. No one ignores class. No one ignores strength. No one ignores grace. Those are the things that I would tell any single woman to work on, but also the married woman. Continue increasing in value.
Absolutely.
In the knowledge of God's grace on your life. Also, we shouldn't compete. Oh, Rachel has. No. Work on the grace of God upon your life. It says that God has put He puts treasures in earthen vessels. So we're supposed to find the grace upon your life and work on it. No one can ignore it.
It's true.
But sisi ni nani? Rachel wants my husband. Rachel wants it talks about whenever you're a soldier, stop this civilian pursuit. You're a soldier. I am a soldier. Mental health is my space. I'll be found living and dying on that mountain to serve humanity.
And when we stop fighting, we see how we complement.
Absolutely.
The place of sisterhood. Maybe we'll have that conversation one day.
Absolutely. Actually, I think when Habi and I travel, since you're already a mom, you can help me with my children. There's so much collaboration the single woman and the married woman can have if they stopped fighting.
Absolutely.
If they stopped fighting. And even if the man in the middle misbehaves, the sisters have each other's back.
And let's hold him accountable for his action.
Tabia yake mbaya ni yake.
Where did we start catfighting over someone else's actions? So I think that's another conversation we'll ever have at some point. So this was really lovely.
Fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation. We were talking like the single woman, the married woman, just like the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman. 5 husbands later, she too was looking for the perfect man. And to be honest, the married woman is looking for the perfect man. The single woman is looking for the perfect man. But when we get together, we realize that perfect man does not exist. Only Jesus is the perfect man. So even as we do this, we encourage all of you to work on your faith. You must stand on something. Life is too hard not to believe in a power greater than yourselves. So thank you for watching. Leave us your comments and your questions, and we will get back to you, and it will inform the next conversation. So say bye, Rachel.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
And God bless.